Hello, I'm Anna Hernandez, Assistant Vice President of Housing and Residential Education. We are so excited that you've chosen to live the Bulls life here at USF. Our team is eager to welcome you to campus, your home away from home. As an on-campus resident, you will have access to a multitude of resources, including your resident assistant, residence life coordinator, hall council, events, programs, and countless opportunities to make friends. We are here to support your academic and personal success. Our essential housekeeping staff and maintenance technicians continue to prioritize the health and safety of our residents. In addition, the Housing Assignments Office is available throughout the year to assist you with any questions you may have. They can be reached by phone, email, or walk-in. Visit our website at usf.edu/housing to learn more about the on-campus experience and all that is available to you as part of the on-campus community. Be sure to visit the Fall Move-In page for all the details to plan your arrival to campus. We look forward to supporting you as you reach your full potential this semester. Thank you for choosing USF. Get ready to live the Bulls life. Go Bulls!
Coming to you from the beautiful University of South Florida campus in Tampa, it's USF Housing Live!
Good evening and welcome to the season finale of USF Housing Live. I'm your host, Julia O'Hara, with Housing and Residential Education at the beautiful University of South Florida in Tampa. Tonight we'll be speaking all about the Fall 2022 move-in process. So be sure to drop your questions in the comments wherever you're watching, and we'll respond to as many as we can throughout the show. We have Dr. Andy Johnson with us tonight, the Director for Operations and Outreach with USF Housing and Residential Education. So welcome, Andy. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm always so excited to be on the show this time of year. So thank you for having me.
I know. I can't believe that we're here in August and we're so ready for move-in and just ready to discuss all the final details for our families and students that are going to be joining us here soon.
It is amazing. I can't believe it. It feels like we were just welcoming students again last year. So we are so excited. So this is a long time planning process to get ready for our residents to move in the fall.
Absolutely. And tonight this episode is going to be recorded and then posted later. So if you want to go back and watch it and go over the details, we're going to be screen sharing and going over the map and all of that good stuff to get everyone totally prepared for a move-in in just a few weeks. So, absolutely. Andy, to get started, can you tell us a little bit, for those that are going to be joining us for the first time on campus, what is grand opening?
Yeah, absolutely. So grand opening is our official kickoff and welcome for our residents and our families. It is we call it our Super Bowl, right? Like I said, we've been planning for it since probably around January or February, and really trying to put it the best experience forward for arriving on campus and getting settled and moved into your residence hall. So it is a full mix of emotions, right? Excitement, a little bit of sadness, and of course it's a life change for many of our families and residents. And so we do everything we can to make that a positive experience and comforting as much as possible. So we are excited to be welcoming everyone back to campus this fall.
And that's going to happen Thursday, August 18th. And let's talk about what you need to do before you arrive for move-in. There's a couple of things that we're asking students and families to complete before they get here.
Yes. So most importantly, the first thing you need to do is if you have not requested your USF ID card yet, and it could be for a variety of reasons, and that's okay. We still have time, but it is critically important that you visit our move-in webpage and or the USF ID card office and click on the link to submit your request. It's very easy. You fill out the form online, you submit a headshot, much like a passport photo, and then once the card office reviews it and processes it, they will go ahead and print your ID card and have it ready for you to pick up. So We will have our card office partners in the Marshall Student Center, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we get closer to it. So we do have some different avenues to make sure we get your cards before you come to check in. So that's one of the most important things. The second most important thing is to do your move-in sign-up, which is found in your housing portal. That is a simple form. You go in and you basically tell us, when are you coming? We just want to make sure that we're ready for you 110%. And so knowing when you're arriving will help us do that. And so you can choose a 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. time or a 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. time. It's completely up to you based on your travel arrangements. We know that we have a number of students who come from South Florida, North Florida, Central Florida, out of state, international. That is okay. We just want to make sure that we are ready and willing and able to help you get checked in very efficiently. So.
And Andy, a lot of the times when it comes to move-in dates and signing up, a question that we get often is if you arrive during your move-in time slot, or can you stay if it's like going into another time slot? So let's say that you sign up from 9 to 1. Can you still be on campus and moving in, even if it goes later into that afternoon?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. If you sign up for a 9 to 1 time slot and you show up at 12:30, that's okay. That is okay. It's just we know that you're going to be coming in that morning time slot. And so we'll get you checked in at that time, and then you can start heading over to your room to get moved in. So.
And if someone's running late or needs to change their time slot for any reason, what should the process be for that?
So if you are running late, now obviously, we understand things happen. There are car troubles, or maybe you're relying on a friend or a relative to bring you to campus, and you're running late. That's okay. Just continue to come on the day that you were planning on arriving, and we'll still help you and get you checked in. If it is that you need to change your time slot, that's not a problem either. Just email us at housing@usf.edu, and we'll be more than happy to change that time slot for you. I will say, though, that sometimes we understand that travel extends beyond our ability to help you get checked in. During the week of opening, we will be willing and able to check you in up until 11 p.m. Every night for the first week or so. So we do have some extended desk hours. But if you are not able to arrive until, let's say, midnight or 1 a.m. or later, then we would just kindly ask that you find some alternative arrangements for the night. That could be at one of our local hotels, or it could be staying with a friend, and we will be more than happy to get you checked in first thing the next morning. So.
Perfect. And we'll go through with your screen shared the map and all of the details. But before we do that, I do want to point out that if someone is unable to arrive on grand opening day, which is Thursday, August 18th, for any reason, are there options to arrive earlier or later? And how does that process work?
Yeah, absolutely. So we completely understand that people can't always take off work on a Thursday, especially our family members sometimes to move their students in, and some maybe they need a weekend. Anytime after August the 18th, which is the official start of the housing agreement, we do have some time slots on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's the 19th, 20th, and 21st that you can sign up for. If it is that you want a little more time to get settled before officially starting your agreement, we can offer early arrival from August 14th to August 17th. Same process, except you go in and you complete the early arrival request form, which acknowledges that there are some additional rental charges, and then you would then pick your move-in sign up right in that same form, right? So we try to make it as easy as possible for our residents to navigate. So once you complete that, submit that, then you'll get an email confirmation from us and letting you know which day you can come. So.
Great. And on those days, it's important to keep in mind that if you're not arriving on grand opening day, which is Thursday, August 18th, your check-in location is not going to be at the Marshall Student Center that we're about to go over. So check the website, go on our main website, and you'll see a tab for the fall move-in page. And by date, you can choose the date that you're arriving and where you'll be checking in. That's super important because we want to make sure that you're going to the right place when you arrive. But today, we're going to be talking all about arriving on the 18th and what that looks like from the student and family's perspective. So Andy will have you share your screen with a map that all students moving in should get in the mail. If you are a domestic student, you'll see this be coming in your mailbox soon, and this is a move-in mailer map. So this map really outlines where you can park for 30 minutes while you unload, and then a long-term parking option for you as well as your check-in location in all the buildings. So let's...
Yeah. And Julia,
see.
your team has done a great job in putting all of this information together on our move-in guidance or our move-in mailer. And so all of your steps that you need, all of your quick access to information. You can see here's a quick QR code for the move-in page. So a lot of great information. Please take your time and really read through it, review it, ask questions, review it again. It will help make your experience that much better in moving in. So we want to get started on grand opening day.
Yeah, let's do it. So you're
Awesome.
arriving to campus. What do you do?
Awesome. So as we said, this is really our Super Bowl of events, right? It's one of the things that we spend a lot of time in and think a lot about and talk to a lot of campus partners to help get you moved in, as quickly as possible with this, with as much as excitement as possible. And so we put together this move-in map for you. But the number one thing that you need to remember is that everything starts in the Marshall Student Center. And so if it is that you're coming in on Fowler, then what we would ask you is come in the main entrance. It's a beautiful entrance. It's marqueed, nice trees overhanging it. And then you'll go ahead and make a quick left-hand turn down Alumni Drive. And I'm just going to do a little high level here, and then I'll do some zooming in. But you'll come down Alumni Drive here, and then up Magnolia, and then over to Holly. You're going to hear a common theme in my next two entrances into campus, but everything will start on Holly Drive on the west side of campus. So if it is you're coming Bruce B. Downs side, then obviously Holly Drive. If you're going to come in through the Fletcher side, then you're going to turn onto Magnolia Drive, which intersects with Fletcher, and then turn onto Holly Drive. So everything's going to revolve around Holly Drive today. So once you've made it to that point, I'm going to go ahead and do a little zoom in here.
Perfect.
So, and as you can see, Holly Drive leads you where? The starting point
Student
right here.
Center, where it all begins.
That's right. That's right. 2 points for Julia.
Thank you.
So one of the things that you'll start seeing as you get a little bit closer into this Holly and Laurel Drive or Holly and Magnolia Drive area is you'll start seeing more signage leading up to the check-in point. We will have a number of signs as well as some of those big variable messaging boards that will indicate that the right-hand lane on Holly Drive, right? So Holly Drive is a 4-lane road, two going east, 2 going west. So the right-hand lane going eastbound, which is heading this direction, will be the lane you want to be in. We will have lots of signs. We will have some cones that will help mark it out. But if you are in that right-hand lane, what you are indicating is you're ready to go to the Marshall Student Center and get checked in. If you want to go ahead and do a kind of a pass through, then you're going to stay in that left lane of westbound or of eastbound traffic. So, but as you make your way up Holly Drive, you're going to make a right-hand turn into Lot 3B here, which is right next door to the Marshall Student Center. You will see many parking attendants there, and they will be getting you situated and helping you find a spot right on campus in that lot. And then you will go ahead and park your car, leave everything in the car. The only thing you need to bring is your USF ID or a government issued ID if you need to pick up your ID, your USF ID.
Mm-hmm. That's super important because you don't want to be moving out here at this point and then moving all your items out. This is not where you're going long term.
Not where you're going. Exactly right. So you will go ahead and make your way up into the Marshall Student Center. The main entrance that we've kind of designated is the north entrance, right? And there are lots of sidewalks that will lead you right up in here. And as soon as you enter, we will have faculty and staff and university executives all willing and able and ready to welcome you to the university. And so you will head from that point, you will head right up our grand staircase and make your way into the ballroom. So at that point, we were going to ask that our students and our future residents go ahead and break away, and you'll see the doorway that it will lead into the ballroom for you. And mom, dad, family members, loved ones, we have refreshments right outside there for you. We understand it may have been a long drive. You may need some water. You may need a little caffeine to help you get through the day. We've got you covered. And so we have a nice little sitting area. We have refreshments for you. There are some restrooms right down the hall there that you can use as well. So students, as you make your way into the ballroom, you will start in the queuing process, and you can't miss it. The way we shape it is you start as soon as you pass through the doorway. And so you'll be greeted by one of our volunteers. And the first question they're going to ask is, do you have your USF ID? And so if you do, great. You can actually move right over to our first station where we have some welcome bags for you. But if you do not, that's okay too. And you have requested it, then we're going to get you started over at the ID card office tables and make sure that you pick up your ID card. So if it is that you have not requested it, maybe it slipped your mind, maybe you were having some troubles, things like that, that is okay. We do have a limited number of temporary ID cards that we can provide for you for the day. That way you can go ahead and get your ID card request in and allow our partners over at the card office to process it and get it printed and pick it up the next day. And we will go ahead and get you set up for success that way. So once you get your temporary ID card, your permanent ID card, or you already have it and you go through our swag bag table, then you're ready to go get your room key. And so we will have the entire back side of the Marshall Student Center ballroom. You just find your building or your community that you'll be living in and hop in line. And it'll take just a couple of minutes. We'll get your key. We'll make sure that you get an email copy that you've received your key, and get you all set. At that point, we have a couple other campus partners. I'm sorry, Julie, did you have a question? Because I was on a roll. I just keep rolling.
I want you to keep going. This is great. I just want to mention that we do have some questions in the comments about where to find this link for the move-in mailer and the map, and we went ahead and posted it in the comments, a link directly to go and take a look at this digital version of the move-in mailer, as well as the map as well. That's all on the website. So if you're looking for something to follow along or want to look at it online before you get it in the mail, that's there for you in the comments. All right, awesome. So we've picked.
I was going to say everything is online. So.
Mm-hmm. And so you were talking about getting in line for the building and community that you know that you're going to be a part of. So it's also very important to know your assignment as you arrive, know where you're living, and then get in line in that designated buildings line. Now,
Julia, do you remember where we go to look up where we're living at for the fall? Where we can see our housing assignment?
That is going to be in the housing portal.
Boom! 2 more points for Julia. That's right.
I feel bad. I'm not competing against anybody. I'm just getting all the points.
You know what? That's because you're a winner from the start. That is where.
Thank you. That's nice. I appreciate that.
So yes, all of your information with regarding to your housing assignment, your bill, things like that, all in your housing portal, as well as Oasis. Those are your 2 big areas. So, all right. So you know where you're living at. You hop in that line, you get your key, you get checked in, you've got your email sitting in your inbox that you've been checked in, that you've received your key. The next step is we encourage you to go over and talk to a couple of campus partners that we have in there. The first one is University Police. You've probably heard this before, but I'm going to mention again. We do have a very real police department on this campus. They are sworn officers. They are not security officers. And so they are amazing, amazing individuals that do everything they can to keep our campus safe, to make it engaged and really community friendly. But they have some really great resources there for you about getting signed up for emergency alerts, property registration, general safety, things like that. And so they are an amazing resource. I encourage you to stop by and check and talk with them just a little bit, because it will not be the last time you see those officers around campus. So they are very, very active and engaging. We also have our dining partners. Maybe you have a question about a meal plan. Maybe you want to sign up for a meal plan. Maybe you want to talk to them about adding some dining dollars to your account. Maybe you have a question about when it gets started, when it doesn't. What does it look like for the spring term, right? Anything you have questions regarding your meal plan, maybe dietary restrictions, things like that, all of those things can be answered right there at the dining table. And then I think the last thing we have before you leave is we have a photo op opportunity. So we have some of our Rocky the Bull and some backdrops, and it's a really great place to get your Instagram photos. Make sure you tag us now at USF Housing. So but it's a memory, right? Moms, dads, family members, students. It's a memory. Take lots of pictures. Don't be embarrassed. It's one of the greatest experiences you'll ever have.
And Andy, another, this is a good plug. You said photo opportunity for that move-in mailer that's going to be coming in the mail. We want to make sure that our audience knows that there is a fold-out there that says "Live the Bulls Life," and it has our Instagram handle at USF Housing. We want to make sure that we see those on your social media. Tag us so that we can see you engaged and moving in and what that process looks like. So that is a great place to do that at the MSC right there.
And it's not a one and done, right? So you take a few at the MSC, post them. Take a few in your newly decorated res hall room, post it. You've just walked across the way to meet with your roommate to grab a Starbucks or something, post it, right? So just make sure you tag us as well. So
absolutely.
Yep, great.
So I have a couple of questions here, Andy, that I think that we can answer before we move on. That has to do with the moving up into the MSC. Yeah, I don't know either.
What did I do? Oh,
see the layers there. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
So the first one from Maggie. Maggie, thanks for watching tonight. Will students get their IDs at orientation if they don't attend until August 15th?
So if you are moving in, if you're arriving to campus on August 15th and just attending orientation, you absolutely will. If you are going to be actually moving in, let's say on August the 14th, we most likely will need to get you a temporary ID card for that night, let you pick up your ID card at orientation, and then you return that temporary ID card to us. So that's a great question, Maggie. Yes, most of campus, of our new students, our transfer students, have picked up their ID card at orientation.
Great. And then Cammie is asking as a follow-up for your housing assignment, where exactly do you see your housing assignment? My son looked a couple weeks ago and his actual room number wasn't there. So I do have the pathway in the housing portal on where to find it. So you'll go and select My Account in the housing portal, then My Assignments, then View Assignments, Roommates, and Suitemates. This should be able to show you your fall spring housing assignment and where anybody that you're living with in your room will be. So if for some reason your room number is not listed in that space, you can contact our office for assistance with that at housing@usf.edu.
Yep, absolutely. Great question.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then everything else that I see here, we have some questions about parking, which I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here because that is going to be one of the next steps from moving from the MSC to where you go next. So, Andy, I'll let you take it away again.
All right, here we go. Let's do it. So we are all set. We've checked in. We've talked to police. We've gotten our bike registered. We've got our meal plan. We've got all of the photos that our phones can hold. Next step is head on down and pick up your family members, and then head out to down the stairs and back out to your car in the 3 Series parking lot. Now, you came in through 3B and entered the parking lot that way. When you exit, you will leave through 3A, right, which is this very first one right here at the top. There will be a police officer there to help direct traffic to get you out very quickly. And so be very, very careful as you are driving and exiting, as people are all still heading probably up to the Marshall Student Center. Now, depending on where you are living for the fall, depends on where you're going to drive. So our friends who are, let's say, living in the village, you will come up Holly Drive. You will turn left and make well, it's really more of a curve. Come up Palm, and then you're going to head right onto Laurel Drive. And you see this giant yellow box here. This is your unloading zone. It is 30 minutes. And so what does that really mean, right? So we know that sometimes you bring a lot of stuff. Sometimes you maybe have a little bit of stuff, and that's okay, right? Maybe you're going to make multiple trips because your family doesn't live too far. But what we are asking is please limit your time as best you can to 30 minutes. And so get your stuff out of your vehicle. Let one of our bull haul volunteers help you get it loaded into a cart, and let's get it up to your room. As soon as we get your stuff up to your room, or if possible, then we're going to go ahead and ask you to move your car to one of our blue designated lots. These are our long-term lots for move-in day. And so there's multiple here that is all around the village. They can be used, any of the blue lots. So lot 43, lot 20, or 16, 35, 17B, Crescent Hill Garage can all be used for more long-term parking. But our goal here is to get as many bulls unpacked as quickly as possible so that we can get you into your residence halls as fast as possible so you can start that decorating process. So
Absolutely.
If you don't mind, just be super cautious and just take the time that you need.
Yeah, I think that a good piece of advice that you shared last year is that instead of moving everything in and unpacking as you move in, just get everything up in there, drop it off, and then move the vehicle to the long-term parking, because we have a lot of bulls that are coming. And like you said, moving the vehicle out of the 30-minute spot is going to be really helpful for someone who's coming in and moving in after you. And then that also brings up a question here is about parking, and if there is a fee for parking on that day, or if you're arriving earlier or later than that, what does the parking look like in terms of paying for parking?
Yeah, absolutely. So our partners over in Parking and Transportation Services are incredibly gracious and really want your student and you to be successful during grand opening day. And so they will be waiving all of the metered spots that are in, like, let's say lot 56 or in 5A. And so you can park in those spots because we are using it as an unloading zone. And again, let's just be as quick as possible about unloading your vehicle and getting it moved so that other bulls can do it. But you could pretty much park anywhere in those areas. However, there is one area that we have to enforce pretty stringently, and that is our ADA accessible spaces. Those spaces can only be used by individuals who have that need, right? And so you have to have the placard either on your license plate or hanging from your mirror. And so that is the only way you should be reason you should be parking in those spaces. Our police, our parking services, they do ticket, they do tow. So I'm really, at this point, I'm asking very, very politely and as best as I can, please don't park in those spaces. Let's save those for the bulls who need them, for the family members of the bulls who need them, and really stick to our other spaces. So, to answer your question, there is no cost for parking for the day. Like I said, our partners are incredibly gracious, and so we're always great to have them at the table to talk about grand opening experience.
And we know that some groups are going to be coming as early as Sunday the 14th. So between the Sunday the 14th and then Sunday the 21st, I believe it is parking the same throughout that week of move-in, where you can be using these unloading zones and then moving to long-term parking spots for the day?
Yes, absolutely. For an unloading purpose, absolutely, you certainly can. But the metered spaces are only right now being waived for grand opening day. So I would ask that we just not abuse the privilege that our partners have given us and just park in regular parking spaces. There will be plenty leading up until August the 18th. And so you'll have lots of space to be able to move and park. To our bulls that are moving in from the 14th to the 17th, I would ask that on the evening of the 17th, please move your vehicle out of some of our loading zones and into more long-term parking for the day. It'll just allow us to be able to move new bulls in as quickly as possible, give them the same experience that we've given you, and it will help you that if you are trying to leave that parking space on August the 18th, get out of the parking lot a little bit faster. So we all know that we move in about 3,000 residents. We usually we expect about 10,000 people on campus that day, and so traffic gets a little heavier than normal. And so please be patient, be kind, be good bulls.
And as we're on the topic of parking, we do have another question from a viewer that's asking, where can we purchase a semester parking pass to park for the entire semester at first as a student?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So if you go to usf.edu/parking, you will see the link right on the Parking and Transportation Services homepage, and it'll say purchase a permit. They have a really great system now where they do the digital permits. And so you will need to know the license plate of your vehicle. Once you input that into the system, it will register, and that's all you need to do. So it's a really great way. You never have to worry about having that decal on your car. So they do have some rules with the license plate and the digital permit. So like you can't back into spaces. So they need to be able to see your license plate at all time. A few other things, but all of those rules and regulations are right on their website. Now, resident, you can only park in an R lot. Now we have a lot of parking around our residential areas, but your designated parking is R. So please make sure you check the sign before you go into a lot that you're not familiar with to make sure that it is an R lot. Otherwise, you may end up with a warning or a ticket. So.
And just to reiterate, Pilar is asking how much does parking cost during move-in day. So during move-in day and the surrounding days, parking is free for bulls and families that are coming in, but just be aware of ADA spaces and metered parking if it's not on grand opening day, Thursday, August 18th, because that will still be enforced. And
now, Pilar, you asked. I want to just expand on the question a little bit more about where can you not park. There are a number of areas in which you cannot park on at any time, really. That is places like along Palm Drive. So if you're living in Pinnacle or Horizon or Beacon and you plan on parking along Palm Drive, you absolutely cannot do that. It is a safety issue because essentially you're parking in the lane. There is not enough space to pull over and actually park. You cannot park in front of Pinnacle along Holly Drive either. Again, it's right in the middle of the lane. And then we have areas like in front of our dumpsters. You cannot park there. You cannot park in a few other areas. But don't worry, we have lots of signage. We want to make sure that you're aware of it.
And another thing to point out is probably Publix parking lot as well. That is just for Publix customers only.
Yeah, and I'm gonna repeat that because that's super important for our relationship with Publix. Is that as you see up here in this in this area, I'm gonna zoom into where Publix is right here. This parking lot is off limits to anybody but Publix customers only. So no problem. You move in, right? You go to your 30-minute unloading zone. You unload your stuff. Then you are like, hey, I need to fill up my fridge. And you head on down to our friends over at Publix and get all the groceries that you need. And then you can head right back over. So that is not a problem to park there while you are shopping. But know that it is not an okay place to unload your vehicle or park long term. So and then for our friends who are maybe out of state or not certain what a Publix is, a Publix is our grocery store, but it is much more. It is a little bit of a way of life. So
a lifestyle.
You hear the word? Yeah, it's a lifestyle. Everybody loves what we call a pub sub. So it is a Publix sandwich, right? It's a deli meat sandwich of some kind. So chicken
So
fingers
good.
are delicious, but yeah, so good, so good. So.
And so we've gone through parking, and I think that next you did mention Bull Hall. So I think this might be a good opportunity to talk about Bull Hall, unless you'd prefer to go through all of the different routes to different unloading zones. I'm not sure if we want to go into that much detail when you will be provided a zone map when you arrive, and we're going to be posting them online in the next week or so on suggested routes to get to your designated unloading zone. So we can go through that, or we can talk about Bull Hall. Andy, I'll leave that up to you.
So I think the zone maps is great. I would like to make a couple of comments. So one of the things that that is not noted on the map, but it is something that you will experience, is that we have found great success in making Holly Drive. So from right here where you see where the bull is, right around this area, Holly Drive, to Genshaft Drive, our beloved president, former president who's retired, Judy Genshaft, will be one way. So I just want to say that one more time. So Holly Drive from where it technically is Myrtle Drive to Genshaft Drive will be one way, and it will be a west to eastbound. So that is heading this direction. So Holly A, Holly B, Holly K, Holly C, RCA, RCB, all the way up to Genshaft. So you will be able to park on both sides of the road. We will have multiple police officers, multiple security officers there to maintain a safe environment. But it does allow for nice, smooth traffic flow up Holly Drive. So I wanted to mention that. I also wanted to mention over here at Dogwood. So if you're a Cypress C or D resident, and you come up Holly Drive and you're making your way up left on the Genshaft, please note right here, USF Dogwood is one way leading from Genshaft onto Dogwood. And to exit this area, you will have to come out of lot 25 and you will have to visit the roundabout right here. At which point you can either make the choice to go down Laurel or to a long-term parking, either in 16 or 43, or you can make it way over to the Crescent Hill Garage or wherever you're off to, right? Maybe you're going to Target or whatnot, but your exit will be out of this area and into the roundabout here. There is a traffic light right here at Fletcher and Laurel for your convenience. So on the move-in map, we are human. We do the very best we can, but this arrow right here was flipped in the wrong direction. It is actually facing the correct direction now. In the move-in map that you have received, it is facing towards Greek Village over here, not towards Dogwood. So just to be crystal clear, the way you see it right here is the correct version. We have corrected it on our website and on the digital move-in mailer on the move-in page as well. So we apologize for the error. We're only human. There's a lot that goes into it, and it just got overlooked. So I think that those are my two big items that I wanted to just kind of point out as we get ready to move forward. But Bull Hall, I love Bull Hall. I think it's one of our premier events as a volunteer event.
We're excited to get back into the swing of things with Bull Hall again, like we had previously. I think 2019 is the last time that we did it in this format, where we have different stations throughout all of the unloading zones to help families and students move in. So in the past couple of years, what we've done is a little bit different, where you could check out a cart and independently take that cart up into your room and unload your items. But now we have volunteers to do this and help you. So in our Bull Hall program, if there is any availability, a Bull Hall volunteer will come with a cart and help you move in your items. So I'll let you share your screen, Andy, and then show us where we should expect to see some of the help on move-in day.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to stick right here for our Bull Halls. But it is really one of our premier events. We have nearly 500 volunteers that come out and help our residents and our families get moved in. They will have carts assigned to them, and so they will not be able to lend it out. We know that that carts are a premium. We do not have a lot of carts, but we do have enough that we can that our bull haulers will be able to use them. We do encourage very strongly that if you have a dolly, a cart, something to help you move your belongings in, that you bring it with you. So it will just help your process move that much faster. So especially if you're bringing like a micro fridge or something along that line. So so we will have bull hauls volunteers and our captains, our leaders of our bull haul program. They will be stationed in a number of different areas, mostly in our unloading zones, of course, because that is where you will be. So we want to be there too. But as you can see right here in lot 5A, so if you're going to come here, if you're moving into Kosov, over here in lot 17A, if you're moving into Castor, over here in 5E, if you're moving into Maple A or B or Beta. And then we'll have multiple locations here along Holly Drive. Mainly, I believe we have one right here, somewhere right in here, right, Julia? Near Cypress A and B?
Mm-hmm. And then two one for North and one for South Holly.
Pretty beautiful, right here on either side. Actually, technically, it's right here between E and F and A and B. And then we will have two stations over here in the village, one on the north side of lot 56 and one on the south side. And then we'll have one over here in lot 25 if you're staying in Cypress C and D. And then we'll have one over here in lot 52 if you're living in house 5 or GVE, or house 10, which is JVG, which is this one right here.
And I think it's important. Sorry, just a quick note on that, Andy. I think it's important to point out that we're going over a lot of unloading zones, and there are different 30-minute unloading zones that we're suggesting that you park in. On grand opening day, when you check in, we're going to be providing QR codes to actually go to the unloading zone on your phone and have some printed out as well to help you be able to get to the specific route, to get the quickest way to get to the 30-minute unloading zone that's for the building that you're moving into. So you don't have to worry too much about memorizing like the best route to get to what lot, because we're going to be providing that information for you and the best route to get there.
Yeah. Now, Julia, you know what? We have talked a lot about the north side of campus, and we have a lot of residents that live on the south side.
That is true. Let's jump over there.
That's true. So yeah, while we're talking about Bull Hall, we'll have Bull Hall here in lot 47A to help our friends in Magnolia, and then we'll have one here in JP to help our friends in Juniper-Poplar get moved in as well. So as you can see, Beard Garage is our designated long-term area. So once you have unloaded out of the unloading zones, then go ahead and make your way over to the Beard Garage. Now, Julia, because we only haven't talked about the south side yet, I have to admit one more mistake that I made. And so we designated on your hard copy map that we've mailed you as lot 19 as a long-term parking area. That was a mistake. That was my mistake, and I apologize. This is actually not a space that you can park long term. Everything in Juniper-Poplar and Magnolia will be here in Beard Garage. So I apologize for the mistake. It does happen. We're human. And so this is where I want to just make sure everybody gets corrected too. So.
And as far as carts for Bull Hall, we have a question from Danielle who's watching. So is there no cart checkout this year is the specific question. So
that's a great question, Danielle. Do you want to take it?
I was going to say, I can explain from what I know, because I'm very involved in the cart process. So for grand opening day, actually physically checking out the cart and taking it independently, that's Thursday, August 18th. That is not an option, because we do have the Bull Hall volunteers that are going to be having the carts in their possession and then helping families move in. So there's still help and carts available, but because of the amount of people that we are expecting on campus on the 18th, there's a lot of families moving in. I would not guarantee that a Bull Hall volunteer will be totally available right when you come up. If you know you need a cart for something large, like you were talking about, Andy, it's a good idea to bring it yourself, especially if you want full ownership of the cart and to be able to take it independently. Now, if you're arriving before or after on those dates leading up to grand opening or after, we will have carts available for checkout on those dates at different locations that are going to be listed on the website. But on grand opening day itself, cart checkout is not going to be as it has been the past couple of years.
Yep. Yeah, we're back post-COVID. We are ready to be those helpers that we were in 2019.
We have the Bull Hall program ready, so we're very excited about
yes. Do we have other good questions?
So we have some questions that we can jump to in more of the like miscellaneous category, or I think that the next, let me just go into some of these questions actually. So one question that we did get is about the bathroom cleaning schedule actually. So Jayla is asking, I know in Juniper they clean the bathrooms. Is there a schedule for that? Or will they inform the students prior to coming in? Also, is soap and toilet paper provided in the Juniper-Poplar dorm?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So I believe that we provide the toilet paper. We do not provide the soap unless it's in one of the common area bathrooms, like down on the first floor. There is a cleaning schedule, and I believe that has gone over on the first week of in your hall meetings, so that you kind of know when that's going to be happening. I believe the suites get cleaned weekly, right? Is that right, Julia?
Yes, that sounds right to me.
Yeah. Traditional, such as Beta and Castor, and some of our traditional spaces in the village, they get cleaned daily. And then our apartments get a deep clean on the semester level, really because apartments really are the responsibility, to maintain a healthy living environment of the residents who reside there. So, and apartments are usually looking for a little bit more privacy. So, so I hope that answers your question, Jayla. Thank you for asking it. That's a good one.
And Aaron's asking, can international students stay in the housing assignment during the December vacation? So for that break stay.
Yeah, great question. I'm sorry, who's asking that?
Aaron.
Aaron, thank you. Well, thank you, Aaron, for asking the question. That's a great one. There are several buildings that are designated as winter break stay buildings. And so that would be Holly, Horizon, and Beta, right? I believe Beta for this year. We do have that information on the website. If it is that you are living in those areas, we will send out an email with instructions and information about winter break stay. There is an additional cost for winter break stay, and it is an all or nothing kind of thing. So even if you just stay a couple of nights, you travel and things like that, that is okay. You can come and go as you please, just like you do during the semester. But if you're not in one of those buildings, then we need to talk to you right away if that is a need for you. So I was going to make another comment about winter break stay, and it slipped my mind. So it'll come to me. So thank you, Aaron.
And Andy, the last few questions that I do have for you are some that I have pre-planned that have to do with move-in, and then I'm going to open it up to you to ask or to provide any additional tips that you have for students and families before they move in. But before we get to that, we do suggest that students submit a bed height request before they move in. So if they have a specific height that they're looking for their bed to be, they can request that online. Can you talk a little bit about what that process looks like?
Absolutely. So we know that there are residents who want their bed. They've already pre-planned it, right? That's why we put all of our measurements as best we can on our website, so you can start thinking about what you want your room to look like and feel like. Some choose to have the lofted beds much higher, so they can fit their desk underneath, or maybe they want to put some storage totes under there. That's okay. That's what we want to do. Maybe they prefer to have it lower because for one reason or another. And so we have a work order system to which our maintenance team and facilities team will receive your request. So you'll go into the work order system. Please adjust my bed height according to the web page's chart. So we have, I think, 3 different options for you to choose from. And if you can do it earlier enough, we'll make sure that it gets queued up and that our amazing facilities team can get into the spaces and adjust that bed before you even arrive. So what is important, though, is that we ask you not to do any kind of bed adjustments yourself. We are more than happy to do it, but we also don't want anybody getting hurt. So the earlier you can put that request in, the easier we can prioritize it and make sure that it happens. I will tell you that typically we do 1,500 plus bed adjustments each fall. So it's okay. Don't hesitate if you want to. We'll take care of it.
And that's on our fall move-in page. That's listed as an item, and a link to that bed height request process page is there, where you can actually see the different heights of the bed heights that we offer in each different room type. And Andy, the next question I have is, if a student needs ADA accommodations for move-in, who should they contact?
So recommend contacting our main office right away. So give us a call at 813-974 0001, or send us an email at housing@usf.edu. We really want to talk to you about what those needs are to make sure that we can accommodate it, right? We want everybody to have a great experience, and that includes family members. So make sure that if it is that you have a family member that has an ADA request or a need, give us a call so we can make sure we talk you through it, and that way you know what you're doing in advance. So yeah.
Wonderful, thank you. And the last question I have for you, and we are almost at 8 o'clock here, so this is working out well. Do you have any additional tips or advice for those moving in?
I do. So I thought about this all day today because I want to make sure that I give the best advice possible. I think this is my, I want to say 17th or 18th professional opening, and so I've been through a few myself as a non-professional. But the best advice I can get is relax, have fun. It's going to be a great experience. It's going to be an experience that you'll want to capture. Don't be embarrassed about taking pictures with mom and dad and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles. I mean, they love you. They want you to be successful. So just relax and enjoy the day. I think that I would also say to parents and families and to our residents, be patient and be kind. It is a long day for everybody. Everybody's been driving. It's hot out. And so just, especially as you're trying to navigate to and from your unloading zones, or, getting things moved in, or maybe you're standing in line waiting for an elevator, just take the opportunity to engage and learn a little bit more about fellow family members or fellow bulls. It's a great opportunity for that. I would also say, as I said, it's hot. Please make sure you wear a hat. Make sure you wear good, comfortable tennis shoes or moving shoes. You're going to be moving around a lot. And sunscreen.
Yep, I was going to say sunscreen. Hydrate. We'll have some water stations, but water is important.
I was going to say, we will have a number of water stations. Coke is our official sponsor at USF, and so we will have Dasani waters. Coke has been gracious enough to provide us with some of their newer Coke products, Starlight and Starlight Zero. We will have those in big, iced, cold, chilled out, free, coolers. There will be a number of them. Please drink as much water as you want. We have plenty. I don't want anybody getting hurt. I think one of my other pieces of advice, I'm sorry, Julia, I have a lot of advice to give tonight.
All advice is welcome.
Is the elevators. Every year we do have a small line that will form as people wait for the elevators. That is perfectly okay if that's if you need the elevator. We have elevators in all of our buildings. However, we also have stairwells. So if it is that you're on the second or third floor, or you're trying to get your steps in for the day, I encourage you to take the stairs if you are able. So it will help your move-in process. But we do have elevators for everyone. So just be patient, be kind, be a good bull, and we'll make it through the day together. And on the other end of it, have a memory that we've made. So
absolutely.
I feel like I have more advice, but I'll just hold on to it for later.
Well, we are going to be going live in the next week or so. I think that we're going to be doing it now. I don't know the date off the top of my head, but be on the lookout for a live, because Andy and myself are going to be going live on campus to actually show you the Marshall Student Center and some of the other areas that you're going to be experiencing on move-in day. And of course, I'll be talking about our contact information here at my ending, but you can always contact us too if you have additional questions or want to learn more.
Absolutely.
And Andy, I really appreciate you taking the time tonight. We have you on every year, so we're excited to have you on again and getting us hyped up for the move-in experience. And yeah, I hope you have a great night. Thank you again.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I love coming on the show to talk about this. Like I said, we start planning in January and February for it. We have a lot of campus partners. There's a lot of pride that goes into grand opening, and we cannot wait to see everybody in almost, 15 days? 15 days.
15 days. There it is. All right, Andy, thank you so much.
Thank you, Julia. Bye, everyone.
And thank you to Andy for answering all of our questions and the questions from the audience. And if you have additional questions about grand opening at USF, you can reach our office by email at housing@usf.edu or by phone at 813-974-0001. Thank you to everyone who has joined us this season on USF Housing Live. We'll be back with Season 9 in the spring of 2023. And until then, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to our social media channels to stay up to date with all things USF Housing. And USF Housing Live is produced by Housing and Residential Education at the University of South Florida in Tampa. Our motto is best place to live, best place to work, and best place to learn. Thank you again to Dr. Andy Johnson for joining me this evening. Thank you to our production crew, to you, our viewers, and of course, there's always just one last thing. Go Bulls! Good night, everyone.